How have you been? How's your life?
Good. It's different now.
It's different.
It's different
Yeah.
in a very good way. Exactly.
I like that.
Exactly.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Creative Chaos. My name is Hunter Ezell, and dude, I hope you're having a great day. We're actually filming this on a Sunday, the Lord's Day. Hallelujah, amen. Dude, my guest today, I used to serve her coffee at Starbucks, and we filmed her wedding. Actually, I wasn't there. My team did. That's such a flex, dude. Holy crap. But she's gone by a lot of different names. King AB, It's AB. She's a wife. She's a mother. And she's truly one of a kind. Today, I have Miss Ashley Connor on the pod.
I'm glad to be here.
What's up?
Not much. What's up with you, buddy?
I'm hanging out, dude.
Mm-hmm.
There's one thing I know. You and I, we both like to talk on the internet.
Yes, we do.
Holy crap, dude.
It gets me in trouble sometimes, but,
I'm too scared.
well, you don't have to be scared.
Just gotta be doing in moderation.
I mean, sometimes you have to say things that mean something to you of importance, even if your
Absolutely.
voice shakes.
Absolutely.
Like, you got to do it.
Yeah, me shaking. Could you imagine? That's crazy.
Never.
So today I had her on because there's one thing that we just talked about is, talking about on the internet. We're going to talk about the internet. We're going to talk about all that because I feel like this is a conversation that needs to be had. And if you stumbled across this video, you found it for a reason. I fully believe that. But before we get into that, let's dig into some fun stuff. How have you been? How's your life?
Good. It's different now.
It's different.
It's different in a very good way.
So before we get to why it's different in a good way, what did you do before for the people who don't know at home?
Before I met my husband, I talked a lot on the internet. I was going through a very difficult time in my life. I was very alone, and I just put my thoughts out there because I was like, if nobody's listening to me in person, surely nobody will hear me on the internet. And boy, was I wrong.
They heard you.
Oh, they did. Yeah. And I just continued on with that. I rode that way for a while. And then I met my husband and my priorities changed.
So what were you talking about on the internet that people just, was it stuff that people like resonated with or what?
I think so. A lot of women resonated with me. A lot of men did not. I was just mainly talking about focusing on yourself, investing in yourself, investing in your career, whatever you have to do to get where you're wanting to go, and then everything else will fall into place. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. I think a lot of people, reason why that type of speak is so popular on the internet is because people are constantly looking for a reason to like validate the way that they're feeling, and they're looking for a reason to take that step. I think it points back. There's a couple of things that stand out to me in my own personal journey with this podcast. Is people they're like, I get people that reach out to me from the school system. Like I get at least 3 teachers a week that reach out to me, and they're like, we've got these students that really want to start their own podcast, and we'd love for you to invite them up and hang out with them and show them. And I'm like, dude, that's crazy that you can be an influence to people. And I think that the way that you did things on the internet, you probably impacted a lot more people than you thought.
I still get messages daily about how they've had to go back to my old videos or some of my older episodes and be like, I had to remind myself that it's okay to keep going, that it's okay to turn people away. And it's a ripple effect, I think.
So ever since that, I mean, you were like sponsored by like Bud Light for a second there.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Holy crap.
That was my biggest sponsorship.
Really? Dude.
That's when they came out with their seltzers. And I don't drink seltzers, and at that time I didn't even really drink.
Yeah.
And I don't even now. But it was really cool. And Brandon and we went to Nashville.
Shout out B. Keith.
Yeah, we love Brandon.
Big Daddy.
He and I went to Nashville and we shot some, and it was incredible.
Yeah.
They sent a lot of merch.
Did they really?
Yeah, like a Yeti cooler full of seltzers. I was just giving them away to people. I was like, I don't drink these. So
That would have been a crazy
here.
video.
Yeah.
Handing out Bud Light to people.
Like literally on Broadway in Nashville.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. I had a couple like skincare and makeup sponsorships, but then it got to where it was feeling like I was being paid to voice something that I didn't agree with.
Yeah.
Like some of the products were just like terrible. And so I quit sponsorships altogether after that because it made me feel fake.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't want to go down that path.
Me and Logan, we actually just downloaded an app called Kale. And if you, for instance, like yesterday, we had a wedding in Murray. And if you download the app Kale, you can type in, say, you know, like we went to 7 Brew before, right? You can type in 7 Brew and it's like, hey, take a selfie of you with the 0.5 camera facing, you know, outwards this way, of you with your drinks in the 7 Brew drive-through, and you get paid for it. I think that's the coolest thing ever.
I'm going to have to download that.
And I mean, like, she messaged me and she was like, hey, go get some Ollie Pops and Outshine fruit bars from Walmart. They're on this app. I was like, hey, look, shout out to those fruit bars, okay? They specifically say in the lingo of, like, if you post anything about it, it was like, don't call them popsicles, they're fruit bars. And
very specific.
they got paid like $2, but I mean
$2, that adds up.
$2 is $2. Back in my
Exactly.
day, that could get you 2 McChickens. I swear. So, dude, well, that's cool that you did all that. I think the most satisfying things whenever it comes to like doing your own thing is like seeing big brands like that, like seeing you, you know, like doing something that you fully believe in yourself doing, and then big brands reaching out to you saying, hey, we admire your platform. You want to do this, you know? I get emails all the time. Like, we got one from like that Allbirds shoe brand.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know if this is fake or not.
I mean, there's only one way to find out.
Yeah. This one time Abercrombie reached out. I was like, oh, this is definitely fake, because it was from like a 20-digit email.
With like AOL at the end.
Yeah, who's AOL anymore? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So why did you stop doing like all the yapping and stuff?
So I rode that wave for a while, and then I met my husband, my boyfriend at the time, and I was just like in my own little love bubble, and I was like, you know, I feel like I've reached a point to where, yes, I still believe all these things that I've said, but I'm in a different season of my life now. And my goal was eventually talk about that, but we just continued on in that little love bubble, and it just never ended.
Well, I think maybe this podcast will motivate you to get back out there.
No, I've been thinking about it. And people have been asking me to do it. I still have all the equipment. I just haven't gotten it out yet.
I think I always say that if you do stuff that you love and stuff, I think everybody else will love it too. So as long as your heart's in it, I think you'll succeed in it big time.
I miss it, truly.
But you were talking about your boyfriend. I think it's cool that whenever you know you're like meant to be with somebody, it just like all falls into place. Especially for me and Logan specifically, it's like I always hear about these people that are like, oh my God, well we've been through so many battles and tribulations together, and somehow we've made it through. And I'm like, do you really deserve that?
Yeah.
You know, and like I think about mine and Logan's relationship, and like we just kind of fell in love, and that was it.
Same. Like,
You know?
same. And people kept telling us, like, oh, marriage is so hard. Marriage is the hardest thing you'll ever do. And we were talking, our anniversary is on Tuesday, and we were talking, we were like, how do people think this is hard?
Yeah.
Like, it has not been hard for us.
I
mean,
Logan's in the other room right now. I'm pretty sure she's over here kicking her feet right now. But literally, like, I love that girl with every fiber of my being. And it's just like one of those things that is like, whenever you truly love somebody, it's just like, your life's on like autopilot with this person. You're just coasting down the highway. And it's like, I don't understand how people, like, I remember I put up a Facebook status when I was 14. There was a girl that I liked, and she kept getting back with this guy. And I put up a status, and you know what I said? I said, crazy how you think after the 4th time you can make it work.
I mean, that's profound if you
Yeah.
think about it.
It
Even if
really
you were
is.
14, yeah.
You know, look, me and AB, we did the same thing on the internet. We trash talked to people, but they needed to hear it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, the whole premise of my platform was just like empowering women to essentially forget about dating and boys and just focus on yourself, because you're not going to be able to love anybody else until you love yourself. And I reached that point, like I was loving myself and I was living the best life I could have, and then everything else just fell into place. So I didn't have anything else to talk about.
That's the best thing that I like. That's like the secret sauce to life in general. You know, I see a lot of people that are like, oh my God, when's my time going to come? Logan came into my life when I was least expecting her to be there. You know, it's like if you just take a back seat and you let life or you let the Lord do his thing, it's just like, dude, it will happen whenever you are not expecting it. But at the same time that you're not expecting it, that's when you're actually ready for it to happen. You know? And I think that's cool.
Did you hear the story about how he and I met? So his mom and my mom went to high school together. And I hadn't been on a date in Lord knows how long. And my mom was getting worried at that point.
Really?
Yes. And she had been trying to set me up, believe it or not, with some Amish people. And I was like, Mom, I'm not that desperate. Like I'm not going down that road.
They got money though.
Yeah. And finally, so she came to Bowling Green one day and she took me out to breakfast. And I was like, this is really abnormal for us to be doing this. So we went out to breakfast and she was like, well, why don't we go shopping after this? And I was like, okay. So we went shopping. She bought me a new dress. She's like, so I think this would be a good time to tell you that I think you should wear this on a date that I've set up with you for next week. And I was like, I beg your pardon? Your finest pardon. And yeah, my mom and his mom kind of got together and did like a whole blind date situation. And my mom essentially bribed me into going. And I went. And it was so hard for me to admit after that first date that she was right. You know, mom's always right. And that first date essentially just never ended.
And I bet she's like, every day, she's like, I did that.
Yes, she is.
That's crazy. Now, where do your parents live?
Todd County. But they work here in Hoptown.
Yeah. Yeah, Todd County matchmaker. That's incredible. They own that joint right next to Hugger Beard and Giles and stuff, right? Okay. I had Frank Giles on a couple weeks ago.
I saw that.
That man's funny.
I was about to say, he's real funny.
A real funny fella. But you know, I couldn't have posted that on a worse week.
When was it?
It was like 9/11 week.
Oh, well.
I didn't fully think about it, truly. And I was like, oh no.
Immersion therapy.
Yeah.
You know?
But I pulled all of the scheduled reels and stuff that I had from the podcast, and I got to get them back on. We're going to have another. I keep on thinking about doing these like combination guests, people that are like completely polar opposites, and seeing how great that would go. So I was thinking about him and Bird Dog.
Oh, my Lanta. That would be something.
Yeah.
You know?
I've got one coming up next summer. Just you wait.
Every time I go to the Krusty Pig, I leave with a smile on my face. Whether it's their pizza or that absolutely phenomenal pimento cheese on grilled artisan white bread, that's what I do at least. It's literally always a blast. The staff is incredible, always greeted me with a smile the moment I walk through the door. And they know to keep that beard cheese coming out for your boy. Lately, I've been housing the shrimp and grits. It blows my mind every single time. It takes me back to the first time I ever had it. Kind of like that one scene in Ratatouille. You know what I'm talking about. The Krusty Pig is an absolute classic. And dude, I drove all the way over here just to tell you about it. I love the Krusty Pig. Seriously. Hopkinsville classic, instant classic. You're in town, you're in the area. Please come support local business. I love them. They're located on the corner of South Virginia and East 7th Street, Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Baby, look, let me tell you something. Krusty Pig's where it's at. We'll see you.
Are you looking for local, high-quality meats? Step into the world of Futrell Farms, located right there in Cadiz, Kentucky. The Futrell family has been farming since 1952, and in 2020, they brought a true farm-to-table experience to their community. At their storefront, 22 Main Street in Cadiz, you'll find beef and pork that's raised, finished, and processed right there in Cadiz, with no added hormones or antibiotics. Pasture-raised, farm-fresh eggs are also available, along with whole half and quarter beef and whole and half pork. It really is a small piece of the farming world right here in our backyard. It's all locally grown, locally processed, and ready for your table. So if you're ready to step into the world of Future Farms, reach out to them on Facebook. Hey, are you looking to take the next step in your education but need something that actually fits in your life? Murray State University's Hopkinsville Regional Campus has flexible online programs built for working adults and busy families. You'll get personalized support from real people who want you to win, plus affordable tuition that keeps it within reach. Start today at murraystate.edu/Hopkinsville or email Shannon Slate, sslate@murraystate.edu. Clay Ahart, realtor with Homefront Real Estate based right here in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and serving the surrounding areas. Whether you're buying or selling residential, commercial, or even farm and land, Clay's the right guy to call. Let him help you make your next move. Reach out to him at 270-498-3394.
How are we doing, baby?
We're doing great.
Good.
I think we're doing great. So, but you were like, I never pictured you as a, which I mean, obviously don't take this wrong. I never pictured you as somebody to like have a kid.
Me neither. It kind of surprised me too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's crazy. How is that? How is she?
She is one of the best things that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
She's perfect. Every parent thinks that their child's perfect, but
you're like, nope.
I have
Poppy
proof.
is.
Miss Poppy is perfect. No, it's been the greatest blessing.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest part about parenting, the best part about parenting, let me start there, is watching her change and learn and grow every day.
It's also the hardest part.
That is also the hardest part. It's like beautifully devastating. She's starting to like stand and take like a couple steps now. And I'm like, oh, before long, you're going to be like walking and running. I wish you could still be like that scrunched up newborn.
Yeah.
But.
Was it crazy seeing like her, which I have another example of this, but it's totally different, but it's the same. Was it crazy like seeing her go from like that newborn all the way to like what she is now? I bet it's just like one of those life altering things. Like I was going to make the comparison of like our corgi. He was like a little guy. Now he's this fat heathen, like full grown, like crazy guy.
Big boy, yeah.
He's crazy, man. I bet it's probably like soul fulfilling. I mean, like being a parent and like seeing them, and I mean, like probably like the first time she's ever laughed too.
That was the best day.
Yeah.
And have you heard her laugh?
I think I saw that. Logan, is that the clip you just kept watching on like repeat on the couch that one day? Yeah.
It's at first we thought she was choking. And then we're like, okay, she's not choking. Is that a cough? I mean, her laugh sounds like she's exactly.
I like that.
Exactly.
I like that Justin Bieber video. I like that.
And so we find it cute now, but it's really wild whenever people see it for the first time.
Really?
Or hear it for the first time. They're like, oh my God, is she okay? And I'm like, she's great. She's just laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that like, do you think she'll grow out of that eventually?
I've talked to a few people who said like either they've had that laugh or their kids have, and eventually they grow out, but it's not anything soon, which is fine. I mean, it makes
Like, what about that guy that like they'll be in like public spaces? And I tell you what, I used to think TikTok was the most heinous thing on the internet, but dude, I'm over there just like, Logan's like, Hunter, are you okay? I'm like, I'm just having a good time on TikTok. And there's this guy, he's really red-faced, and they're like, do it. And he'll go,
and just in public spaces?
Yes, it's crazy. I could never do that. But it's just funny, man. I get so much joy seeing you post stuff about her. I was like, look at her getting so big.
Yeah. A lot of people are still surprised by many things in my life. My husband was on a leadership retreat, and he was talking with a group of people who are familiar with me. And this lady that I used to work with comes up, and they're like, oh, you're talking about Ashley? And they're like, yeah. And she's like, quiet Ashley? And they're like, what do you mean, quiet Ashley? And she's like,
gosh.
Every time I walked by her office, she was just diligently working, and she never spoke to anybody. And they're like, no, you've got to look her up on, TikTok, Instagram and stuff. And she messaged me the other day and was like, I had no idea had I known that you were like this, like we would have given you opportunities within the company to do something different. So it's kind of like I'm living a double life, especially being a parent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have it? I guess I guess Poppy sees a side of you that like a lot. Has that opened up a new side of you? I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not as harsh.
Yeah.
I'm still blunt, but I'm a little softer in my delivery.
That baby gonna follow the rules. Ultimate rule follower. Sounds like Logan Ezell 2.0. She's like the ultimate rule follower.
Really? Oh, that's my husband.
She's like, I'm the type of person that if I'm backing out of the driveway, if I got any law officers watching this podcast, I don't do this. Logan's the type of person, she is going to buckle her seatbelt before she even opens up the garage door to pull out. Me, if I'm backing out of the garage, I'm backing out and I'm putting on my seatbelt at the same time.
That's a little dangerous. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe you shouldn't do that.
But it's just one of those things that, it's like ultimate rule follower. She's like, if we're just going in somewhere really quick to grab something, she's like, lock the vehicle immediately. I set up this action button on my phone and she's like, just use your keys. I was like, bro, it does it fine. But whatever. We need those people in our life.
And it's always the people who aren't like that marry the rule followers.
Would you consider you and your husband to be complete polar opposites in that way, though?
In that aspect, yes.
Yeah.
We are very similar in a lot of ways. We're both very strong-willed and strong-minded. He's an attorney. So he has been trained to conversate differently, and I'm just going to conversate. We butt heads a lot in that aspect because we both want to be right. But other than that, we're pretty opposite on a lot of things.
So with that being his job, does he have is he able to get things out of you?
Yeah. It's scary.
Is
yeah.
it really?
Yeah.
You're like, I wasn't planning on saying that or confessing that, but he was like,
Yeah, I was like, I didn't even know I felt that way, and he's able, that's the beautiful thing about what he does is he's able to get you to kind of tap into different emotions and different thoughts that you didn't even know you had.
Low key, like there's like a psychology aspect to it all, isn't there? I'm almost positive you have to take some type of psychology classes whenever you're going to like attorney school and stuff.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
But he's by doing that, he's made me think differently. Like the way I approach things is completely different than how it used to be. My sixth love language was like combat, and he's kind of softened me in that aspect and made me think about things completely differently.
Whenever you said love language being combat, I'm just like, yeah, girl, tombstone pile drive me, What do you mean by that?
Combat?
Yeah.
Just making sure that I get the last word in, and making
always
sure
got to have the final say.
Yeah, and making sure that you understand what I'm saying, and I'm not always right. I'm right a lot of times, but I'm not always right. And now it's like I'm having to ask myself certain questions in regards to my response. And in my line of work, what I do, I'm trained to notice patterns and negotiate. And so that's how I approached a lot of our conversations. So I think we've learned a lot from each other, and now we just kind of communicate and we get things done and move on.
It's funny you say all that because I view myself as like, I think a lot before I speak. And part of the reason why I do that is because I had a real bad speech impediment when I was a kid.
Really?
Terrible. In fact, whenever I get really excited, sometimes I'll stutter still. But like I went to like speech therapy in elementary school up until the 5th grade because after that I was homeschooled. So it was just like, let's just stick this stuttering baboon out into the wild and stuff like that. But, I grew out of it and everything, but that still prompted me because that's one of the things that they told me is they were like, Hunter, you need to think about what you say before you say it. That way you won't stutter. That's what helped me, but it's helped me in the long run because if something's going to fly out of my mouth, I'm going to make sure that I really mean it. And that's why we have Ashley on the podcast today. Funny how we tied all that in.
Yes.
Holy crap.
I can say the only time I really thought about what I was going to say is whenever I was recording.
Yeah.
And it got to where I was getting really good at it. But then in like my personal life, I already had these things like memorized, and that's what I would use in any kind of conversation. And it would come across harsh.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only time I think I really thought about what I was going to say.
Do you think, did it make you like more comfortable speaking your mind?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to be painfully shy.
Yeah.
Painfully shy.
I think a lot of people, which is the main focal point of this podcast episode today, for good reason. I think a lot of people are getting way too comfortable on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Like, scary comfortable. I mean, you know, truthfully so, I'll just go ahead and say it. If you are comfortable, you know, with posting your butthole on the internet, good for you. Good for you.
Just make sure it's bleached. You know?
Yeah, just do that. You know, one of them things. Logan's be like, Hunter, take that out. But, dude, it's just like one of those things that I just don't understand. Where did we lose the plot in terms of like, because, you know, we were doing Farmville, we were doing ice bucket challenges, we were doing the Harlem Shake, you know, Epic Mealtime, those guys. Where did we lose the plot where if you thought one thing or said one thing and you put it on the internet and people didn't like what you said, you were just like, let me call your employer and let me go ahead and just ruin your life. You know, I don't know where we lost that. I'm trying to pinpoint it, and I'm trying to figure it out.
I think our egos have gotten way too big, and we've gotten way too sensitive to where we think that if anybody says something that we don't agree with, we immediately believe that they're an enemy. And it shouldn't be that way. I mean, you should be able to coexist with people you don't agree with. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
I mean, what's the world going to end up in if we all agree on the same thing?
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, we're not all part of this hive mind where you have to absolutely believe the same thing as everybody else. And like that's not even the way that I was raised up to be, you know? And it was like I had these friends growing up that went to like different churches. And, you know, it was like, I grew up Pentecostal, you know, and I had these friends that grew up going to like Second Baptist and stuff. Not once did I ever say, oh, look at those freaking losers. I don't like those guys because they get to go to the buffets before us, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, I just don't get where, and like, I get people will argue that like certain issues are I got to watch how I say this.
It's hard.
I got to watch how I say this. Certain issues are worth cutting people off over. But if you flip the script, would you want those people to cut you off for the things that you believe in? And you can say that won't affect you, but I know it will. And I think it sucks. You know, I don't know. I voiced my opinion about something that happened a couple weeks ago. I have a very strict rule about not talking about politics because this is a open podcast for everybody to enjoy. And I just, you know, I love everybody. That is how I've been raised up my whole entire life.
Well, that's what we've been called to do.
Absolutely. But it broke my heart to see the way certain people reacted to somebody getting shot in front of so many other people.
And then it being shared public. Like that.
We were not built to see
And know
the
everything.
fat monkey zing zing on TikTok and then scroll and see that. We were not meant to see that. And it's just like, we've grown so comfortable. We've grown so comfortable. I got chills talking about this and I'm getting like all flustered. And it's like, dude, we weren't meant to deal with that type of stuff. And it's just, it bothers me so much. And I'm going to drink my orange cream Coke Zero. This is not sponsored.
Well, I think we've become desensitized to it because it has been shared. I mean, different instances. Like, and this is going to sound terrible, but it's like whenever I get a notification that another shooting's happened, you know, a few years ago, it would just absolutely shake me. But now it's like just another Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I hate that that's where we've ended up.
And I cannot believe that in times like this, we have the thing that we've immediately gone to do is immediately go and point fingers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, let's hug it out instead, because I think that's what everybody needs, is just one big hug.
Yeah.
I do. Like, let's not point fingers, point the blame. Oh, well, it's your people that did this. Don't do that. You know, I'll never forget whenever my sister tragically, like, committed suicide 12 years ago. It was, you know, I mean, that stuff happens and things happen certain ways. And, you know, like, in those moments, you can say, oh, well, if this would have happened differently, stuff like that. You can't change anything.
Mm-hmm.
All you can do is keep moving forward. You know, Meet the Robinsons, 2007, one of the greatest Disney movies of all time. The end quote, keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, that's all you can do. You can't look in the rear view and keep pushing. You know, I think if we just, the world's just real dark, dude.
Yeah. It's getting darker, unfortunately. I don't know what the solution is.
I don't
truly.
either.
I mean, I don't know how we get back to where we were. Where, I mean, I was brought up the same way. You love everybody, you take care of everybody. I mean, that's how you're supposed to get along. That's how you've been
Absolutely.
called to do. And now it's just like, you know, you and I will try to like go out and be kind to somebody, and we don't know how they're going to react.
Right.
And I hate that that's where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's social media has a lot to do with it.
And I think it's because we've gotten so brave on the internet, and we've gotten so comfortable just saying whatever. You know, we can just do a bunch of mumbo jumbo and see what sticks. You know, I'll tell you a story. You know, we talked before the podcast. I talk to Tammy Slayton every day, but I tell you what breaks my heart is the fact that since me and her are collaborative, since me and her collaborate on a bunch of Instagram posts and stuff from like the podcast and everything like that, I still see all the comments that people post. And people can be so mean to somebody they've never met.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I cannot believe you would say that to a person you have never met, you know?
Well, they wouldn't say it in person.
No, they wouldn't say it in person. I work with the school closely, and the way that they talk about this man and the way that he runs the school system, I'm like, if you think he's so bad at it, why don't you do it?
Mm-hmm.
But you wouldn't. You wouldn't. And if people, they've just gotten so brave, they just don't. I know people that have moved out of this town because of the way people have talked about them on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And it just blows my mind that, like, these are weapons.
Yeah.
These are weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And that brings me to my next point. What is the worst thing or the most mind-boggling thing somebody's ever commented on one of your videos?
I had somebody create a whole account dedicated to like smearing me.
Because they didn't like what you were saying?
Yeah, they didn't like what I was saying. It was a female who was mad that I was encouraging other women to invest in themselves, invest in their career, find their own happiness. And she said she found personal things about me and would post them on the internet. There was one time I lived in an apartment complex in the middle of Bowling Green that somebody recognized the wreath on my door because of this person and came to my apartment because their girlfriend broke up with them. And rightfully so. Like they at that point, yeah, they probably should have broken up with you. But like people were just absolutely, because they didn't agree with me, they were trying to dox me.
Did he think that she broke up with him because she saw your videos or something?
He blamed me.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Did you get a gun? Do you have a gun?
Yes, I have several.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know.
And since having Poppy, people are now kind of dragging her into it. Like, oh, I feel so sorry for your daughter. Or CPS needs to be called on your daughter. Like, you know, I'm scared that your daughter's with you. And I'm like, because of what? You know, my words hurt you that much? What happened to sticks and stones? May break your bones and words will never hurt me.
I'm sorry that you have to go through that. That's crazy.
I've just learned to stop reading the comments, and it's hard to do because you're curious. You want to know what people think. You want to see that feedback, but sometimes it's brutal. Like, it is very, very bad.
I don't know. Like, I have a list of, like...
Do you have a list of bad things people have said to you? I do.
I would love to figure it out. I mean, I just don't think we understand, which I think whenever I have confrontation and stuff like that, I know I'm totally different than like Logan per se. Whenever we're dealing with like run-ins with clients and everything like that, she would rather text somebody. Me, I'm calling you. I'm calling you and I'm figuring it out because I feel like what I have to say won't be as well perceived through text as it would over the phone, you know? And it's like, have you ever ran into somebody that they've talked to you negatively on the internet and then it's like, hey, what's up?
No, not really.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I think a lot of the people that comment on my stuff, they're not, one, from this area, and two, I think even if they were, I'm not sure if they would be brave enough to say it to my face.
Yeah.
Because judging by my content, I'm not somebody you just want to immediately come up to and start talking smack to.
Yeah. It's just so interesting to me that like your content like triggered people that much. Because really, at the end of the day, point blank is you're just telling people to believe in themselves. Really.
Yeah.
Like, really, like if you were to just put a big label and you're sorting through your content, you would probably label all of that stuff that people are mad about is, hey, go and believe in yourself. I say that at the end of every single podcast. We're not done yet, but I'm just saying, you know, it's like, that's all you can do, especially in the way that the world is going these days. I mean, it does. I mean, yeah, you've got your people and stuff, but at the end of the day, you know, all you have is yourself, really. And if you don't have anybody else to depend on yourself, like to depend on you, you have yourself, you know, and I think that's all you were saying.
Yeah. And the one thing that triggered people the most, and it wasn't even my quote, it was, I couldn't tell you who said it, but I repeated it. And I said, we are not rehabilitation centers for poorly raised men. And that is the one line that sent so many people into a spiral. Like, that's how I got to the views that I had, was just that one singular line.
Really?
Yes.
And people just come out of the woodwork.
Yeah. I mean, I still stand by it.
Yeah.
I mean, my mind has not changed. Your words aren't going to change my mind.
Do those clips still like get traction? Really?
Yes.
That's crazy. I don't think I really expected a platform like TikTok to have that much longevity. I don't know if you remember my TikTok that went viral a couple years ago whenever Stranger Things 4 came out. But I went viral for playing Guitar Hero backwards. And that was like 2022, and I'm still getting hits off of it. And so I think it's crazy that you said that. And it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it does put a precedent, and like people need to watch what they post. I think it's a double-sided thing for a lot of different things. But I feel like, I don't know, it's like, I feel like we should almost have, are you sure you want to post this button? You know, like, are you sure you want to post this? Are you sure? Again, are you positive?
Triple check, yeah.
What does this do for you? You know?
I remember there was one time, now that we're talking, a lot of this stuff is like coming back to mind, and I can't believe I blocked it out for this long. I talk a lot with my hands. If you've noticed, like, I've been very like this because
like Italian.
I don't, but I would talk a lot with my hands, especially videoing, and people thought that I was throwing up gang signs. Could you imagine me in a gang?
I can't even do the blood thing that, you know,
I
my
can't
friends
either.
are like, I don't know.
Like, and I do okay like this, or I talk like this, and people thought that I was like in a gang, or that I was a part of a specific group of people, like it. And so now I'm like afraid to talk with my hands because how is that going to be?
You've been like this.
Yeah. I'm like,
you know?
I'm so scared.
Yeah. That's crazy. Just I think it's, you know, I think I have something down here about like just like the parasocial relationships of people thinking they know somebody just based on the internet though. You know, and it's like, I think that people, some people actually think that they know you based off of a video you posted on TikTok, you know? And I think it's just so interesting. I see these people that it's like, there was somebody who thought that they were like, I remember seeing like this kid, I'm a big WWE fan, huge WWE fan. And there's this wrestler, Seth Rollins. He was coming out to the ring one night, and this guy, he jumped the barricade, and he went and attacked this man, and he was making all these threats to this guy because this guy thought he was actually chatting with this wrestler on the internet, but he was not.
That's scary.
And it's just like, I don't know. It's like the internet is where you will see every single type of person in one room, essentially. And it's like, I feel like we really just messed it up. I tell people this a lot. I'm like, dude, the worst thing we ever did was make social media free.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Worst thing we ever did. It's the worst thing we ever did. And it's like, everybody's got access to it. And I think you should only be allowed to, like, if you lose one account, dude, sorry. I don't think you should be able to make alternate accounts. I was a part of this online message board, IGN. It was like a game review website, stuff like that. And these kids, they would get banned. They would just go and they'd make an alternate account, continue doing whatever they were doing, you know, for the sake of me not cussing. They called it SHIT posting. And it was like, you know, that's what a lot of people do. It's like, oh, well, I could just make a new account and continue it.
And if you think about that, like, they are so desperate to be heard and validated that they will continue to make accounts until somebody agrees with them.
Well, let's go ahead and touch on that then, because you make a very good point. Do you feel like people that are posting hate comments and stuff like that on the internet, I always, you know, the classic trope in the, you know, like Disney movies and stuff like that, when there's a bully, when a kid is bullying somebody, they're obviously dealing with more at home. And it always ends up being, oh, the kid's mean to these kids because his parents aren't actively in the picture, or he's being bullied himself. Do you feel like that has like some kind of way with like people treat each other on the internet?
I do. I think that sometimes people in their own lives, they don't feel validated, they don't feel confident, they don't feel heard, and they resort to being bullies essentially on the internet. So people will recognize, or not recognize, but people will acknowledge them. And they're just projecting a lot of their insecurities and a lot of their anger onto other people because they don't know how to handle it themselves.
You know, I constantly feel like that's the one missing piece, is that if we used all of that like that built up aggression and stuff like that and did something different, you know, if you're mad, go pot a plant, you know?
Yeah.
You know, walk outside. You know, I was telling you earlier about these things that they're called bricks. And it's like you tap your phone on it, and it's like advanced screen time. And you literally you can't use any of the apps that you've set on your phone until you go and you tap it again. And I've gotten to the point now with my chronic ADHD that if I want to get something done, I'm going to go tap my phone on this brick, and I'm going to sit there and I'm going to edit. And it's like one of those things, like whenever I would get grounded as a kid, it's like, well, they took away my GameCube. I guess I might as well just go do something productive. And I think if we just bricked our phones and walked outside, you would never know the stuff going on in the world. You know?
I saw this video the other day, and hang with me on this because it's going to sound tough at first.
Go.
But this father posted a video of his daughter running. I mean, it wasn't a very big yard, but running from like a tree to the driveway, back and forth, and she's crying. And at first, I was like, "Oh, my Lanta, what is he making her do?" And I start reading his description. I'm going through the comments, and what he was doing is that she had done something to where she got in trouble. And he was like, okay, that's 4 laps. You got to run 4 laps. And that's what she would do. And when you go through the comments, you see people saying, oh, well, my parents did that. And now anytime I'm upset, I go for a run. Or now anytime I'm stressed out, I go lift weights because that's what I had to do whenever I was younger. And I think that is where a lot of us fall short, is that whenever we're angry, we're not held accountable and we don't have an outlet.
I got in trouble a lot as a kid.
No.
I did actually. I had a very I back talked a ton. You know, apparently Logan did too. I never could have guessed that. But they made me go in the corner a lot. I feel like a lot of people need to be put in a corner.
Yeah.
Go in timeout.
Be alone with your thoughts for a while.
Have you had to put Poppy in timeout yet?
Mm-mm. She
Sick.
understands the word no.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang, some people need to learn to know the reason, the definition of no.
And we're big Miss Rachel fans. And Miss Rachel, shakes her head, no, no, no. And Poppy tries, but she's like, no, no, no.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I've never watched Miss Rachel. I don't have any. I mean, my dogs love Bluey. My dogs love Bluey.
There's a Bluey cult out there.
Hey, shout out Bluey, for real. Let's talk about reply guy culture. The guys that are they have to feel the need to put themselves into every single, you got these comments where people just have, it has nothing to do with them. They're like, oh, well, you're ugly. So you see what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like those people, I'm just like, where do you get, it's crazy to think that these days you could literally never tell who's real and who's not on the internet. It could be an AI bot.
There's a lot of those.
What was it? Was it Superman? Do you watch movies like Superman and stuff like that?
No.
There's part of I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it doesn't give much of the plot away. But it turns out there were people making hate comments about Superman on the internet, and they couldn't really figure it out why. Well, come to find out, it's a whole warehouse of monkeys typing away hate comments and stuff. And it's I think we've gotten to the point that it might be that. That might be where we're at.
I get comments like that. I mean, still, say I post even an image or a story on my Instagram, people immediately go to my TikTok or something, and they'll see some of my older videos, and I'll get some quick comments like that, and I'm like, that might be a rage bait, but it's the people that leave paragraphs. That's the ones that kind of concern me. I'm like, maybe you need to go talk to somebody.
Why did you take that much time out of your day to let somebody who you don't know at all? How you feel?
Yeah. I don't know. And at first, I spent a lot of time reflecting on it. I tore myself completely down. Their words actually did hurt me. But then it just kind of got to where I realized that if I wasn't saying something that was true, they wouldn't be commenting that.
Obviously, that stuck with them because it made them feel some type of way. Obviously, there's, and I'm not saying that you're wrong for caring about something in the wrong way. I think everybody's opinions are completely valid. I think you're allowed to feel every single which way you believe in. But I think we could appropriate those feelings towards something more positive. Let's do something. Let's take this energy that we have got building up inside of us over this one specific thing. And I don't know, go walk somebody's dog. Go help an old lady across the street. You don't see that too often anymore. And it's do something with that negative energy and turn it into a positive.
That's actually a psychological hack. If you're having a bad day, or you're really stressed out, or whatever it may be, something negative, you go and do something nice for somebody, and it helps rewire your brain in that instance. And whenever I was working for a different organization, we had an office right above Starbucks. And I would get so stressed and so mad at myself or at other people. I would just go down there and I would pay for somebody's coffee.
Yeah.
And I would instantly feel better, and I'd go back up, and it completely changed the course of my day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think, if you don't know how me and Miss Ashley met, I used to be a barista at Starbucks here in Hopkinsville. She would come in there. You were in college, right?
I was getting my master's, yeah.
She would come in there, and you would close that joint down with us most nights, just being there in the corner. But yeah, you were in there at Starbucks and stuff like that, and it was really interesting to I don't know, because I never expected you to be that type of person on the internet. You were just sitting in your little corner hanging out.
I was very quiet, very shy. You know why I had to go there every day?
Why?
We didn't have cell phone service or internet service at my house.
Really?
So I would go to Starbucks after work every day and do all my studies, get everything that I needed to do online, and then I would go home.
Really?
hmm
Remember? Do you remember Tom? Were you ever in there when Tom was up in there?
I don't know, maybe.
Tom, he literally one of my best customers ever. He'd come in every day and we'd sit there and we would just like talk, man.
Mm-hmm.
And he would come in same time. He had perfectly capable internet, but some people just like to get out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
He would come up in there and we would talk. And I still go, like, I go to Starbucks just to sit. Like, I'll drive by and I'll see if he's there. I was like, oh, I'll pull in. I'll talk to him for a little bit.
That's sweet.
Yeah, he's a super cool guy. Okay, so we've been talking completely just like, why are you lashing out about things, all sorts of stuff. What are some times on the internet that you've seen, not with you yourself, but what are some things on the internet that you have seen people just completely unite over?
Oh, I think, do you remember, I think it might have been in Kentucky, actually. There was a church or some student
Oh, the
organization.
Asbury Revival?
Yes.
Up in, was it Campbellsville or something
Maybe.
like that?
That's the last time.
Oh, Asbury University.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is probably the most significant thing that I can remember somebody uniting.
See,
over that.
you're over here saying that, and I was over here going to be all like, Pokemon Go. everybody was doing that.
I'm trying. What else? What other trends are there?
I think everybody was doing, like I talked about the ice bucket challenge earlier. I never did that.
No.
I'm not doing that. Theo Vaughn posted something, and he was like, man, he had a person on whose relative passed away from ALS, and he was like, we did all them ice bucket challenges for what?
That's terrible.
So freaking crazy, dude. I didn't do it.
That's actually starting to come back around.
Is it really?
The ice bucket challenge. Our niece had to do it like a few weeks ago, or a couple months ago.
Yeah, these kids at church try to get me to do that. I'm not doing that.
I don't know what people are doing these days.
I don't either. That brings me to another topic. We're slowly getting into brighter territory. I don't know what the kids are into these days, but I finally reached the age in my life where I don't know what's necessarily hip to the kids anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, I have to text my sister often. She's a freshman in college. I'm like, is this cool?
Yeah.
Like, should I buy this? What does this mean? How do you say this? Yeah.
These kids are like wearing like low-rise jeans again, and they're wearing like boot cut. And I was in the era though, is like, thankfully, back in whenever I was a kid, they were selling like Champion sweatshirts at like Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're going to pay about $100 for a good Champion hoodie, but the lingo, I don't understand. Like, is this how they felt about us?
I'm sure. But I mean, our lingo was, I think, easy to decipher. What they're doing.
What is a 6'7"?
I do not know.
What is 6'7"?
I have no clue.
When I hear 6'7", I'm thinking
Lil Wayne.
yes.
That's like where my
That's
mind
what
goes.
I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, what does this mean? And then like, what does Sigma mean?
I have no clue.
Yeah, like they'll come up, these kids in youth group will come to me and they'll go, Hunter, you're so Sigma. I was like, is that an insult? I'm like,
I don't know.
like it's so ridiculous.
Sigma, 6'7", like they say like somebody's being an alpha and a beta. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like that I can understand.
Yeah.
But a lot of the things that they're saying, I have not a clue.
It does not make any sense to me, but it's just so funny how, like, I don't know, you live this life and you go on this journey. Everybody goes on the same journey, and it's like, dude, like in terms of like age and stuff like that, and I still feel 17.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that way? But you're like, holy crap, I have a whole kid.
I do I feel like I had a teen pregnancy.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm 33.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had a teen pregnancy. It's like, I shouldn't be doing this. Like,
yeah, it's like, I don't, I think whenever Logan and I got married, it was like, it didn't feel real until like she was walking down the aisle to me. And it was like, dude, holy crap. Like, we're old. Like, I'll be 29 next year. And it's like,
oh, you're so old. Yeah.
like, I don't feel 29. You know, I'm like, I'm surprised they don't ID me whenever I buy M-rated games at GameStop. You know, it's like, you know, I'm like, what do you mean I can go see a rated R movie
Yeah.
without them being like, let me see your identification? You know,
It's shocking. But I will say, I think this next generation of kids that are like, even though their lingo is terrible, I think they're going to be the ones that will turn things around because they're so invested in self-care. Like, you don't see them out partying or driving back roads like we, you know, or I did. They're more interested in staying home and doing a facial.
absolutely.
And like going to bed early and drinking their water. I think those are the kids that might actually give us a little bit of hope.
Is your sister one of those people?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, you are nothing like me, and that is amazing.
I just don't, you know, I've never gotten the fascination with, mostly because I never had those opportunities, but I never got the fascination with going out and staying out super late, putting myself in harm's way. Not saying that, you know, I think in the right controlled environment, that's fun and stuff like that. But I could never be the type of person to be like, oh yeah, just drank a beer. The steering wheel's looking pretty fun. You know, I've never understood that.
I partied in college. I stayed out late, but I wasn't one of those people that did like a lot of the crazy stuff. I mean, I lived like a mile away from campus and I would walk home if I needed to. But some of the things that people would do, I don't know how they survived. And my husband and I were talking about this the other day. Some of the biggest partiers that we met, it's amazing what they transitions to and what their jobs are now.
Yeah.
Like, how are you a nurse? Like, how are you a nurse? How are you a teacher?
I think about that a lot. I was, you know, it's like, you remember that there was a trend, people doing, our photo booth is going to a 10-year class reunion at Casey Jones next month. And I look at it and I'm like, dude, it's been 10 years since my graduating class graduated high school. And it's like, what are all them people doing now? You know, those, what was that trend going around on TikTok? It was with the song "Where'd All the Time Go," and it's like their yearbook pictures and like what they do now.
Yes.
It's like, holy crap.
With being homeschooled, like how does that work?
I don't know. I'm just probably not gonna go.
Yeah.
I didn't get invited because it's like, I don't know. They do like Hop Town and County, and it's funny. A lot of the kids that went to those schools, they thought I went to Heritage.
I thought you went to Heritage.
Exactly. I didn't. No, I was homeschooled. And it was like, but it was like, they got those homeschool programs now to where like you can still be involved with people. No, my graduating class, it was me, myself, and I. I was valedictorian, salutatorian. I was class MVP. I was class clown. I was most hard-headed, all that. And dude, I didn't. But I just get a kick out of seeing where people have gone with their life. And it's like, you know, at the end of the day, like you make those things happen for yourself. I think it's crazy to know that like we were all just a couple of kids that were, because like, you know, you were talking about going out and partying and stuff. We didn't do that. We hung out in Save-A-Lot parking lot. Yes.
When I was in high school, it was Walmart.
Really? So you went to school
At UHA.
At UHA, okay. So it was Walmart for you. That's nuts. So I think that was the same group of people, but I think they probably just, they made their way down to Save-A-Lot. It was right around when Snapchat got popular, and I was talking to my friend Peyton about this a couple of days ago. Whenever I started hanging out down there, I got the idea to make like a snap filter for it. And so I went and I grabbed my laptop and I pulled the Save-A-Lot logo off of the internet.
Yeah.
And like if you would drive past it, it would only work from like 7 to like 11 each night. And it would said Save-A-Lot Hangout. Yeah.
Of course you would do that though.
That's just me.
Know?
I'm so extra with everything.
Yeah.
It's so funny. But dude, we've had a great conversation today.
Yeah.
I feel like we got a little bit done. I feel like we both said some things that needed to be said. And some, you know, maybe it like made you feel like you should hop behind the mic again.
I would be willing. The reason why I quit is because I had no help. And I was at that time recording editing. I was doing everything in the floor of my little apartment closet. And it took a toll on my mental health, and I just had to quit. I think if I had help, I would do it in a heartbeat.
I can show you the ways. I think you should do that because it's a lot easier than you think. Yeah.
I was like like I would go into like the milliseconds and like be cutting like certain things out.
Really?
Like that's how meticulous I was, and I think I did it to myself. I mean, I would love to do it again, truthfully.
Well, we'll have you on. We'll get maybe you, me, and Tammy or something.
That'd be fun.
That would be great.
Yeah.
You, me, and Tammy would just chop it up. Let's talk about online hate comments some more with the queen of the internet herself, Miss Tammy. Dude, no. But hey, I've had the queen of Listen Up, Sis. Is that what it was called? Or Listen, Sis?
Listen, sis. Yeah. I actually got in trouble for that too.
Did you really?
Yeah, people didn't like me saying sis.
Why?
I don't know. I had to pull like everything off. They didn't like sis.
That's nuts. You don't ever make anybody happy.
No.
But at the end of the day, you have got to make yourself happy. You got to do what suits you best. I say this every episode. I want you to put your best foot forward. Love one another. Be kind to one another. Remember, you are your own special person. You are fantastic. You are wonderful. And do you got anything you want to add to that camera right there?
Okay, thanks. Love you. Bye.
Yeah. That's crazy. Hey, this is Hunter Ezell. This is AB.
Yeah.
We will see you next time, all right?
Bye.
Peace, love, and blessings.
Bye.